Hey guys, we have the full moon at 19 degrees of Aquarius happening on August 11th at 6:35 p.m. Pacific, which would be 9:35 p.m. Eastern. Check your local time to see when this lunation is occurring for you. And I have to say, this is a pretty loaded Aquarius full moon. The one we had last year, well, we had two last year. I don't know why I'm saying one. We had two last year. We had a blue moon in Aquarius, and we had a full moon that happened previous to that 4 weeks beforehand. And those were some pretty powerful moons. This one in particular is pretty loaded. It's pretty strong. It's powerful. Not only is it a super moon, it's also a Sturgeon moon. It's also square to the nodes and Saturn, and it's creating this grand cross. So energetically, this is a pretty potent moon on its own. With this being a super moon, it's in something called perigee. Perigee is when the moon is closest to the Earth. The moon doesn't have a perfectly elliptical orbit. When it's further away from Earth, we have something called a micromoon, which is called apogee. And those kinds of lunations pack their own specialized energy. But with this being a supermoon, we're definitely going to feel this intensely. When we have those supermoons, they pull and tug on our emotions, they pull on our shores. And this also includes us, considering the human body is mostly made of water, and so this is going to definitely tug on our emotions, and we will definitely feel this impactfully. So yeah, our moods may fluctuate. This is also a Sturgeon moon. Sturgeon moons happen around this time of year. The reason why this moon got its name is because native tribes and ancient tribes noticed that there was a massive amount of these types of fish in the lakes and rivers during this time of year. So at this peak cycle, the fish were gathered and created a massive bounty of food and nourishment. Spiritually, this could be a time where something's becoming readily available for you to harvest. In other words, this could be a time where something that might have been backed up is either coming to you in interest accrued, or this could be a time where you're getting more than you expected due to a situation being backed up for some time. So at least this is one of those lunations that frees up things that were stuck for some time. And the vibes on the graph are particularly interesting during this lunation. There's a ton of romance and a ton of psychic energy. Those are the most dominant vibes going on during this lunation. Even with some of the transits being difficult, we do have a bunch of romantic energy. So this could be a time that's flirty over the next bunch of days. This could be a time that's seeming more amorous than normal. With that psychic energy, this could tie in with spiritual connections of people, or just meeting someone where you have this sort of soul connection, this soul vibe with them. With the psychic energy, we can experience dreams that are prophetic, have moments where our intuition is on fire, or experience intuitive downloads throughout the day or throughout the next couple of days during this full moon. So pay attention to whatever insights you're picking up over these next couple of days, because it could end up being something revealing. It could be a moment of revelation of some sorts, but this moon will definitely bring that out. Aquarius happens to be a very insightful sign, and so we have these moments of revelation, we have these strokes of genius, we have these aha moments, we have these eureka moments in Aquarius. So this could be a period where you're experiencing a lot of that. We also have a bit of mental energy as we get to the 13th, along with some ambitious energy. So this may be a point in time where you're ready to take action on whatever it is you've been sitting on, or whatever you might have been stuck on. You're finally having that breakthrough moment that you need to move forward with whatever you need to move forward with. And we also have some low grade vibes, and a lot of it has to do with emotional sensitivity, solitude, social, some ambitious energy, some good luck energy, imagination, and confusion. When I see these minimal energies on the graph, a lot of the times there could be some mood fluctuations, but they aren't as harsh. They're more so kind of annoying, or just feeling low-key irritated throughout the day, or low-key happy, or it's just low-grade energies that cause these weird background emotions. But yeah, now that we're here, we're at a full moon in Aquarius. Full moons are about looking at what we started 6 months prior when we were at the new moon in a particular sign. So think back what was going on you around January 31st of this year. What type of Aquarian themes were you trying to start in your life? During new moons, we look at the positive attributes of the sign and see how we can utilize them to improve our lives. So what type of Aquarian themes were you trying to incorporate in your life back around January 31st of this year? At full moons, we look at how much progress we've made, what needs to be tweaked, and what needs to be deleted from our life. In other words, if you started something 6 months ago, does it have a steady foundation, and is it ready for you to launch it? Or do you have something that's working, that's in the final stages, and now you're just getting the kinks out, you're just getting the bugs out, and you're trying to smooth out the rough edges before you present it to the world? Or is this a period of endings? Is this a period where you're looking at what no longer serves you, what's no longer working in your life, and what you can no longer accept, and how to move forward from that? Have you learned the art of healthy detachment? In Aquarius energy, we learn how to remove ourselves from situations. Now, obviously, there's an unhealthy side to Aquarius with detachment. However, there's a balance part where we step back from a lot of situations and we don't make things about ourselves. We allow people to be themselves. We don't intervene when we don't need to intervene. Let go of our codependency issues. We work on enmeshment with our families. We allow people to have the autonomy that we would want for ourselves. So this not only frees the people around us, but this also frees ourselves from controlling feelings. This frees us from inserting ourselves in other people's drama and realizing that not every situation is our responsibility. This also helps us set boundaries with others. That way they know how to treat us, and it prevents a lot of bullshit from happening. And you use that ability of detachment, this really saves you a lot of trouble. So that way you're not fused with other people and not knowing where they begin and where you end. Has this been a period where you're realizing that you need to network with the right people, or even just connect with the right people? In other words, if you run a business, if you have a small business, if you're wanting to start something, start a business or anything like that, you need to collaborate with the right people. Aquarius is our 11th house of hopes, dreams, and wishes, and it's where we network with people. It's where we work on collaborations with people. Also, Libra is where we work on collaborations with people as well. But with an Aquarius, if there's anything that you're trying to put out into the world, anything that you're trying to do on a collective level, this could have been a period of recognizing whether or not you want to work with certain people, whether you want to join certain organizations or groups that could help further you business-wise or whatever else you might be trying to do. But at this point, you're realizing that you can't work with everyone because not everyone is a good fit for you, or there may be certain things about that person that may stunt your business or cause stagnation for whatever you're trying to create for yourself. This also can do with friendships as well. Since this is Aquarius, we absolutely need to look at the relationships we have with our friends because this rules our friendships that we have in our lives. So has this been a time where you've been more selective in your friend choices? And you're realizing not everyone's for you, and it's not worth your time to have people around just for the sake of having people around. A lot of times our socialization is done for the wrong reasons, and it's not maniacal reasons or anything like that, but sometimes it's to fill the void of not being by yourself on a Friday or Saturday night, having people to do stuff with on the weekends or just on a regular basis and everything, because we all need socialization, we all need friendship, we all need relationships in our lives. But this could have been a period where you're realizing that that's not doing it for you, and you're not connected with the right people. So this could have been a period of working on that, being more selective and finding people of like-minded energy. Over this last 6 months, have you found ways to get out of your comfort zone? Aquarius is one of those energies about busting out of ruts and shaking things up. And so if you've been in a stagnant period before this, prior to this, and you've been working on that, has this been a period where you're seeing progress? Have you started to slowly make yourself comfortable with change or making changes or looking at routines that are no longer working for you, that are counterproductive? You begin to realize the trappings of your comfort zone and how your comfort zone has locked you into something that you definitely didn't want to be stuck in for this period of time or for a long duration of time. So if you're starting to see that things are freeing up and this has become more of a healthy habit to ensure that you're being a little more spontaneous in your life, then this could be a period where either you're feeling like you're finally free of what's been going on, or you're still tweaking it and working it to make sure that you don't stay stuck. And speaking of stuck, has this been a period where you're trying to move past living a mundane existence? Aquarius is not about conventionality by any means, and this doesn't mean that you have to go off the complete beaten path. Have you been stuck in something monotonous? And whether that be a 9-to-5 job, nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5 job by any means. For some people, that is where their energy thrives and that's their sweet spot, but there are other people where that is not their sweet spot whatsoever. And so this could have been a period where, you're realizing that you're a square peg in a round hole and you've been trying to hammer that in and it's not working for you. So you're looking at ways to create something better for yourself. It doesn't, again, have to do with job. It could have to do with relationships. It could have to do with your living situation. Maybe you're stuck in a town that you're not healthy. Maybe you're stuck in a town that you're not happy in because it's overly traditional in some sort of way, or there's not enough action going on for you and it's just very dull. It's just the same monotonous day-to-day life within that town. So this could have been a period where you're looking into getting out of that, breaking out of that area. With Aquarius, we alter things, and this could be a huge life-altering decision that ends up putting you in a better position, a better city, a better area, a better job for you, or gaining relationships with people, romantic and platonic, that are on your level. In Aquarius energy, we work on upgrading our current situation. So this could to be that period where you're trying to upgrade your circumstances, no matter what they may be, whether it is a living situation, a job situation, a relationship situation, or even yourself as a whole. With Aquarius energy, it is about authenticity, and it's authenticity within ourselves. In other words, the way we present to other people, we have to feel uniquely ourselves in order to function, in order to feel free. And so has this been a period where you've been working on being your true self, where you haven't been afraid to show your persona, where you've been like, fuck it, I'm quirky and I'm into non-traditional things and I'm not going to hide it anymore. I'm going to be myself regardless of what other people think. I'm going to speak my truth no matter what. I'm going to embrace who I am fully. With Aquarius, you realize that you can't hide parts of yourself to make other people comfortable, because you're the one who has to live in that body and you need to be comfortable yourself. So we get to a period of fuck it, this is who I am, and if other people can't accept it, then oh well. And the great thing with Aquarius is you end up finding your tribe of people who embrace you for who you are no matter what, and you find your place in the collective. So this could have been a period where you're learning to honor who you are, and you're giving yourself permission to be yourself no matter what's at stake and no matter what people think of you. It takes courage to be yourself, so if you've gotten yourself to this point, pat yourself on the back, because it's not an easy feat. It's easier to be normal and just blend in and be like everyone else. It's way harder to be counterculture. It's way harder to be deemed what's alternative. But even though it's easier to be air quotes normal, fuck being normal, as I always say anytime I reference Aquarius, because you know what? It's boring. You gain way more out of life being a unique individual rather than being cookie cutter. So pat yourself on the back if you've gotten this far and you're finally feeling comfortable in your own skin. Let's look at these transits and see what we can expect from this lunation. As a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it helps this channel grow. And if you'd like to support the work of this channel, you could do so by buying me a fresh cup of coffee. There's a link in the description box below. So yeah, as I was saying, this is a particularly interesting lunation. The moon is connected with its ancient chart ruler, which is Saturn. Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius. We're also going to look at Uranus, because that is the modern ruler of Aquarius. And we've got this grand fixed cross going on with Saturn, the lunar nodes, and with the sun, which is in opposition of the moon, because we have a full moon, and full moons are when the moon and the sun are between the earth. Also connected in this grand cross is Mars and Uranus. So whatever was stuck beforehand is more than likely going to break loose around this time period. Came across the lunar nodes last week, activating this grand cross, and now that we're in this full moon period connected to this grand cross, we can expect a lot of stagnant situations, a lot of built up situations, a lot of stuck situations to finally break loose and bust free. So things that got put on hold could finally loosen up. There could be a solution to an unsolvable problem that you've been dealing with for quite some time. This could be a period of finally verbalizing stuff you've been holding in, or finally asserting your dominance in a situation where you needed to stand up for yourself, or just finally making an update to something that was long overdue for an overhaul. And with all these hard alignments going on with the moon and the sun, our emotions can fluctuate during this time. So this moon can feel somewhat triggery. Again, there's some low-key energy, so some of it could feel like it's in the background, but this could feel somewhat stressful. Or you could have a day or two where you feel burnt out and overwhelmed by things, or overstimulated by things. Luckily, there are some harmonious transits going on during this lunation. Venus is making lovely connections to Jupiter and Neptune, and this is where we're seeing the romantic energy. This is where we're seeing the psychic vibes. So that's going to be really helpful during a period like this that can be stressful and tense. Mars is also making some balanced connections to Neptune and Pluto, which could also help mitigate some of the stressful factors. Mars and Pluto, when they come together, a lot of times it can be a little nerve-wracking. This is one of those times where it's going to be helpful. It's going to be helpful in terms of helping us getting motivated to get things moving and taking action on our dreams, taking actions on things that we've been thinking about, we might have been fantasizing about, and we're finally actually putting it out there into the world. So at least we have those going on during a heavy lunation like this. The signs that are going to feel this the most are going to be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, between 16 to 26 degrees of these placements. So those of you who are fixed signs will definitely feel this lunation more than others. So try to shake things up in the most balanced way possible. Anyway, I hope you all have the best full moon in Aquarius ever. Later, guys.